And we are live, people. We are live. We are live. Welcome back to another Thursday Night Beer Flow. Me, your host, Rajay, or co-host, host with the co-host. I don't know how it all works out. But back again to talk some beer, and I'm here with the crew, Rajay, or co-host. I need to. I don't know how it all works out. Everybody trying to get their moment. I got to cut the other video off there. Got myself coming in the background. So here with Eric, who's like all wrapped up in wires, and we're looking at the cable guy.
I'm about ready to get choked out here.
Water.
You said you give me HBO for free. What's up? We got Joey here out of Buffalo. Beer Patrol with that, brother. And then, of course, we got Todd, the Anchorman, coming in from over at Indiana. What's happening?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
So tonight, I am actually going to drink a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale during the course of the show here. A nice classic ale. I almost, and Eric, you'll like this, I almost picked up a can of Coors Light and Miller Lite because I was like, you know, Joe's been dropping some poundage. And then shout out to Paul, PA Brew News. He's been dropping some poundage. And shout out to Drunken One. He's been doing some fitness stuff. So I started working out. And then I'm getting my Fitbit back. Been working out this whole week. And thought I'd get some light beer to try. And I had it in my hand. It's like, fuck that. I can't buy this right now.
Instead, you just need some water to drink.
Yeah, I put them back, and I was like, okay, I'll get the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, nice 24-ounce bottle. That'll do just nicely.
It's technically 2 Sierra Nevada Pale Ales, just to be clear.
It is, but it's still, I've still got 444 calories left. I could burn tonight, so I might have another one after this. Who knows?
They're like $1.75 for 12 ounces, right? For that, I think something like that.
Yeah, it's like something like oh, we mean for this for the
no, for that's like 350.
Oh yeah, you're right. So. Not bad,
Treat yourself, Rod.
Not bad for a pale ale. So already down a few pounds in a week, so that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. And let's see, what are you guys drinking tonight?
Well, I'm drinking a Great Lakes Brewing Company beer. This is their Dortmunder. I hope I'm Dortmunder Gold Lager.
Oh, nice.
Baby, that is a classic, baby. Yeah.
Like the sun I got back there. Dortmunder Gold Lager.
Oh, baby.
Just hit the flex for you guys.
Listen, baby, it's very early. Fitness plan. Let's settle down there.
Had to fit that in somewhere.
The old Lex Luger pose there.
Yeah. You get a terra baby.
What you got there, Joe?
I have a collaboration between Barrier Brewing and 42 North. It is their Flow, which I thought was appropriate considering this is the Beer Flow show. It is a double dry hopped India Pale Ale brewed with grapefruit puree, double dry hop with Citra, Hallertauer Blanc, Summit, and Mosaic. And it is solid, and it is almost gone because I've been drinking it, my one beer, so I'm going to finish it off.
So you could have one. You should have went big or went home. I don't know what to tell you, son.
Yeah, it's 7%, a little bit more calories, baby.
What about you, Todd? What are you drinking tonight?
I'm going to start off with one of Joe's beers, the Peter B. Porter from Resurgence.
Nice. Ooh, nice. A little porter action. It isn't too bad because today, at least here, it was kind of like a fall day. We were like 70s, high 70s or so, which was nice finally. Not too hot, not too sticky.
Yeah.
Supposed to start warming up again this weekend.
Yeah, it was nice enough. We actually opened the windows up yesterday and turned the air off.
I ain't get that crazy now.
You
Come on.
It's still August, buddy.
Yeah. But I drove to work today. I couldn't put the top down because it was actually so cold. I actually had to turn the defrost on this morning, but coming home, took the top down. It was nice. So
that wasn't my doing, by the way. That was my wife's doing, which makes it even more impossible.
For what?
To put the windows down yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I got home from work and I was like, what is this? Windows open? It's like August. What are you doing?
And then I saw Earth in the chat said, evening, gentlemen. I'm about to take Joe's thunder. I just saw.
I mean, I'm so looking forward to reading comments. Don't
Light up the board for Joe so he has some comments to read for sure.
And in this show, I might be actually able to read them.
Yeah, unless we get the German influx.
Then we'll pick and choose.
Crazy peanut butter on the nose on this one, Joe, by the way.
Yeah, the aroma of that's fantastic. The taste is good, but it's like I wish the aroma on that would translate into the actual taste because it'd be amazing.
And so that was the one that he sent you from the last mail-in, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
I've noticed most of the peanut butter ones kind of fail on the taste, but they always smell amazing.
Yeah.
Just never translate in the flavor of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's like
You're right though. The smell is huge peanut butter, but I'm hardly tasting any peanut butter in the flavor.
Yeah, it's like they dial it back by about 50% in the taste. It's like, what just happened? Whatever was in the nose, I want that in the taste. Oh no, I can't. Okay.
Which still reminds me, I still have my Victory at Sea peanut butter that I need to actually drink. And I don't know if it's a peanut butter or it's a peanut butter cup because there's two different ones they have. But
I think it's the peanut butter. I think the peanut butter cup is draft. I think that's what
they got it in bottle.
Oh, do they have peanut butter cup?
Yeah, it was like a limited thing, but it was in bottle.
Right, I think didn't they have the peanut butter one in Victory at Sea at the festival in the fall or in the wintertime?
Yeah, the peanut. Yeah,
fall, winter time, right around there.
Yeah, whatever. February.
It's so silky smooth.
It was tasty. It was good.
Well, looking at some of the stuff for this week, so I put some stuff out there kind of in the title so people kind of have an idea of some of the things they can look at. This past, well, actually, no, I say this past, but it's actually this weekend, the 27th, will be the opening of the Brewdog Hotel. So that'll be pretty cool. They're getting all pumped up in Columbus around that when that actually happens, and a lot of people looking forward to that. I guess that's actually Monday that'll happen. So that's kind of weird on a Monday to do it on the weekend, but a lot of festivities. But also next year, we also have the Stone Brewing Resort opening their hotel, which is out where Earth is, out in the San Diego area. And then I just saw earlier today, and not that I'm going to put these in the same category, but Milwaukee's got former Pabst Brewery will have a hotel that they'll be opening where you'll feature like PBR. So a lot of people start looking at these beer hotels. There's a few other ones out there that are being looked at as well, not even just here, but also overseas. Kind of an interesting phenomenon that beer is becoming kind of this featured niche play for the hotel to be built around. So that can be kind of interesting to see how this actually develops if we start seeing more things like that. You have some sites out there where you can do things like beercations and stuff like that. So beer can easily be the center of attraction for a lot of type things. So I'm kind of pumped up to see what happens with the Brewdog one in Columbus. And, we talked about some stuff there, but we're all kind of in proximity now. If we can kind of put something put together, that could be kind of an awesome thing to do as well.
So what does that actually entail? Is it just like a hotel with a brewery in it? What are they doing there?
It's actually a hotel that's attached to the brewery, and they'll have, I think it's 27 or 28 rooms or whatever they'll have there, where basically you're staying in the brewery overnight type thing. But you'll have like the brewery room. You'll have like everybody's got like their own Brewdog mini bar of all beers from Brewdog. You have like a tap in the room. You have like the beer shower. You have the sauna where you can sauna in the beer type thing. So kind of an interesting type situation taking place.
It's all inspired by Eric. It was all inspired by Eric's PSA.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. Don't gotta go home.
They're all like, "Why don't we just build a hotel? Then you don't have to drink and drive, like Eric says."
They're claiming this will be the first beer hotel in Corona, though. There is a hotel, I think it was in Japan or China that I was reading earlier today, where you can actually take beer baths. But I don't know if it's a resort where you don't maybe stay there or whatever. But they're saying this will be the first beer hotel anywhere in the world. The people that invested in it, apparently they had 8,000 American investors that invested behind it. And apparently the return they got back was like some astronomical, I want to say it was like 240% or some higher number, 2,400%. A ton of money back from the success they had with building this thing, which is crazy. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. They opened the brewery last year, then they have this. And then we'll see what kind of beers they're doing. Will they make beers just for the American market, or are they going to bring their stuff from overseas? So that'll be interesting how that plays out.
Do you think it's kind of like a wait and see kind of approach, maybe for some other breweries to say, hey, that's doing pretty well, maybe we should get in on this?
Yeah, but I think you got to be in the right position to actually try to do something like that. Brewdog's pretty huge overseas in the UK. And they got, kind of some money behind them. They got the investors here. They have the name recognition to do it. Someone like Stone has the recognition and size where they could probably pull it off as well. I don't know if a lot of the smaller breweries can really do that. I mean, if you're looking like, in Michigan, because someone like a Left Hand pull something like that off, or Arbor Brewing, possibly. I mean, Arbor Brewing is the only American brewery like in India, for instance. So if they have enough money behind them and enough drive, it could be a possibility. But I think it's just a cool concept of the whole thing, like, having a beer hotel.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, really. I mean, why not have a featured something there and, hey, have some rooms to stay, come kick back, enjoy, have knock down a few or 10 or 12 and stumble to your room upstairs and be done.
Yeah. You come down to the brewery in your robe, like, hey, what's up, people?
I'm back.
Walking around like Hugh Hefner. You guys need to keep it down. I'm trying to sleep upstairs, so.
Have your smoking jacket on, be good to go.
Or maybe Mr. Furley from Three's Company, either one. So.
Not while I'm drinking, Rod. Not while I'm drinking. Mr. Furley.
But it should be interesting. So, I don't know. That's something maybe just throw out there in the agenda, like us four. We got Paul and PA. They probably get out here rather easily. We'd have some people around Ohio who'd probably get down there rather easily. Michigan, we have a lot of people around this area, so be kind of
I'm
cool.
down.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Where would you want to go?
Joe, you're pretty quiet.
I don't know. That was good. Eric, have you been listening the last 7 minutes or so? Is that cord choking a bit too much?
It might be. It's cutting off the
new Brewdog brewery and the hotel they have in Columbus.
That moonlight in Alaska, Eric, I tell you.
No, I think that's something we could definitely try to work out down the road. It's a bit farther for me than you guys, but it's also, I had planned to go to Jackie O's about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So I would be all up for there and hitting up the breweries around there, like Jackie O's. And I think it's wherever Hoof Heart it is, Marengo, Ohio. I'd like to hit all the breweries around Columbus and the outskirts. I think it'd be nice, like weekend trip, 2 or 3 days. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a good time, like you said. So what happens there, but that's something you'll probably see more stuff happening as we go into next week. There'll probably be stuff online about it, and
some reviews and some feedback, and see what people think of it. It might, like a lot of things that open that are brand new, it might be an absolute shit show early on with a lot of issues, and maybe not. But
yeah,
we'll find out.
And then another thing that I saw was talking about churches. So I haven't been to a church in a long time. I mean, I guess they still have the stained glass windows and everything. But apparently some of the churches, and this was one that came out of California, but I've seen some other ones now where they're starting to include beer in their service. Like one of the pastors was talking about, it doesn't say in the Bible you can't enjoy an alcoholic beverage while you're worshiping God. I'm like, he's got a point there, so
why not?
I don't know how much beer you can get as they start cutting you off. You come me off with the collection plate. Why you couldn't cut me off at the keg? But that could be kind of interesting to see. I mean, if they were serving beer, and I don't know if you guys go to church as much, but if they were serving beer in your church, would that entice you to maybe go in and worship a little bit and get your drink? Would you feel weird getting a drink on in church? I mean,
instead of the cracker wafers, they're serving nachos and cheese and. Yeah, lightning's gonna strike me down. That's all right.
Yo, Chaplain, you got any more of those wings left? What's up, now?
Yeah, some more wings, a hot dog. What you got behind there?
Jalapeno poppers. I put a 20 in that plate, man. I think it's an interesting idea, though, to have like church service like that.
It would certainly draw more people to come.
Be for new age goers, right? Oh, sorry, Eric.
No, go ahead, Todd. I was just goofing off per usual.
No, I was just saying that'd have to be for the new age goers, right? The older folk wouldn't get behind that at all, would they?
I don't know. I mean, they're trying to do it for some of the younger people to get more younger people involved, but
It might, Todd. It might. It might.
Never know.
yeah, it'd be interesting if some of the older people actually became involved in it as well. So, I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't, though. I mean, things didn't get too crazy and rambunctious, I guess.
Pastor Bob serving beer at church.
With some of the stuff the churches go through, beer would be the least of their concerns.
Be like, we're gonna hit a brewery Saturday night. Nah, I got church in the morning. We'll just get lit there. Be all right.
It's like, oh man, you got stouts again? Jesus Christ! Can I get an IPA? Yeah, that might take a wrong direction now I think about it, but we'll see what happens. But I know here, like for instance, like they put some of the churches around where some of the bar areas are now. Like by UC, they put a church there. By like basically the bar strip, trying to get people coming in. I guess feeling that Sunday morning guilt or whatever from what maybe having Saturday night, put a church right there. So we shall see what may happen. Any comments or anything, Joe? Or
we do. I mean, they're mostly Paul. Paul says, "Evening all." Hello, Paul.
What's up, Paul?
Elbow 88 says, "Cheers, guys." He's enjoying a night swim porter from Coppertail Brewing. He's in Florida, I'm pretty sure. Paul then has 5 straight comments because that's how he rolls. So says, "Sounds like the PBR hotel will be one of those, quote, pay by the hour hotels."
doors on the outside.
Then he says, "I dropped a bottle of pumpkin." He says he just said pumpkin, like not pumpkin, like from Southern Tier, in our jacuzzi once. Does that count? I mean, if you wanted to, Paul. He says, in my church, not only the glasses are stained. And then he says the new heroin and Tide Pod church serves will begin in 2020. And it says everyone will just drink Salvation Ale from Avery Brewing Company. I guess that would be appropriate. You did see a lot of themed beers. Yeah. And then Ryan, Beer by the Number, says, "My favorite review crew."
Cheers, Ryan.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers, Ryan. Yeah, I don't. You have low standards, but that's why I love you.
Well, Paul is dropping some one-liners, act like he's Don Rickles or something. So.
Yeah. Some of these millennials might not know who Don Rickles are. I'm assuming any millennials are watching right now.
Todd, you know who he is.
Well, I know, but Todd doesn't.
Google
Come on. Who is it? No.
At least one millennial joke at Todd's expense every single show.
Right. Wouldn't be a show if you didn't.
Well,
Ryan just said who?
Yeah, Ryan just said who.
Don who?
Let's see what else. So there's a new company coming out, and this is actually the guy that came up with the whole Blue Moon concept. He's creating Syria Beverage. So this is a new company launching with a focus on marijuana beer. So that's all they're going to focus on, is doing the marijuana beer. So non-alcoholic, but it's going to have the marijuana type stuff they're doing in it to basically give you that effect without having alcohol. So that's kind of interesting, but they're putting a bunch of money into it. And I just saw earlier that Corona is now turning towards marijuana beer for one of their things. Like the owners put like $4 million or something into trying to get this off the ground now. So seems like going into the next few years, marijuana beer is going to be like the hot type thing as well.
So are those gonna give you the same type of buzz if you were to drink one, or no?
It's giving you a buzz similar, I think, to marijuana, but you're not smoking it. It's kind of being infused into it, but it's not alcohol in the drink either.
Probably like an edible, you know what I mean? But instead it's drinkable,
right.
you know. Is Corona's plan to just take all of their bottled beer and just hang them out in the sun or in direct sunlight and let it get skunky enough to? Is that their marijuana beer? Is that what they're trying to do, or
Possibly.
Well, what were we talking? We were talking about in Canada. It's is it Coors Light? I think that's going that way too. They're making a marijuana beer there as well. So
I'm sure they're all trying to get into the market as soon as possible, be the first to the market with a product that they can, you know, sell to people and try to be first in there. I mean, I'd imagine there's gonna be a lot of people that want to buy it.
yeah,
I mean, edibles are huge, you know.
Only be available in the states that it's legal in, I would assume.
Oh, I would think so.
Well, I think like Lagunitas, they're only going to be available in California. Their TLC one that they have, THC rather, not TLC. TLC, that's pretty sexy, cool, son.
Go chasing waterfalls, Ron. Settle down.
The THC only going to be in Lagunitas out in California, and then some of the other states, probably like Colorado, you know, that allow it. Washington, maybe Oregon. So it'll be interesting. But like, you know, if you go there and you're drinking those, and you come back and say you had a spot urine test at your job, I mean, are you screwed? I mean, it's kind of like, well, I didn't know I was on vacation. I was just drinking when they was drinking. I mean,
well, I'd imagine there's going to have to be like things plastered all over the label, like, you know, there's THC in here. It's basically marijuana. I mean, it's like edibles. It's you know, a lot of people don't like to just smoke in general, like not just say marijuana, but just don't like the thought of smoke, whether it's cigarettes, cigars, or, you know, marijuana itself. So
right,
edibles introduce people who want to try marijuana without actually smoking it. So I could see people who enjoy drinking beer or, you know, drink their marijuana. It'd have to taste good, I would hope. Like, you're just not going to be like, here's our marijuana beer, and it's just whatever. Like, when you eat edibles, here's an edible peanut butter cup, or here's an edible brownie, or whatever. Like, it tastes good still. It just has marijuana in it, and it gets you fucking lit. That's the whole point of it. So hopefully these actually taste good, and they have flavor behind them, as opposed to just like, we just brew this with marijuana, and that's it. Like, that, I still hope there's, you know, regular beer ingredients, or well, non-alcoholic, but you know what I mean, something. Maybe they even have a hop-forward beer without it, you know, having alcohol in it. Who knows? I mean,
well, hopefully it's better than bong water. That's
a great way to put it. Like, I mean, they have like hopped sodas and hopped lemonades and stuff. So who knows? Maybe they can make someone get a fucking hop marijuana lemonade or something. I don't know. Be fantastic.
Well, speaking of hopped other stuff, I know that the hop seltzer water is going to actually be jumping around as well. So that's been something that's been more popular recently, and catching some fire. Seems a lot of people seem to really be paying attention to that. So I still haven't done this seltzer water. So it'll be kind of interesting to see. I need to try one of those. I need to do those for you. Have you done a review on those, Joe? I know you think you tried it, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely tried them because I was at a barbecue last year where I didn't know they had alcohol, and a kid came up to me, he was like, "Can I have one?" I'm like, "I think so." And then the person who brought it was like, "No, there's 6% alcohol." And I look, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this is 6% alcohol." Yeah,
those things are crazy good for what they are.
If you like flavored seltzer water, it's exactly that with alcohol in it, but you can't taste the alcohol, and it's like 6%. So it's like you drink a couple of those, you're feeling good, and you don't even know it because you're like, "Oh, it's just carbonated water with lemon in it." No, it's not. It has 6% alcohol, and it's a little different, but they're not bad. I drank one because I wanted to try one out because I was curious about it. And I was like, "Oh, can I try one out?" And she was like, "Oh, go ahead," and I did. And I was like, "These, you know, seltzer water isn't my jam, I guess, but you know, for people who like that, I'd have to say they're pretty fucking tasty."
And they're fairly inexpensive too, I believe. I don't think they're that expensive.
Yeah.
No, I think they're pretty cheap. Like a 12-pack, I think was, I don't know, $10, $11 or something maybe.
Yeah, that's not bad.
For a 6%, you know, drink, that's pretty damn good, really.
And they don't have a lot of calories either, because the only calories are pretty much the alcohol. It's just carbonated water with like natural whatever fruit flavor they have in it. So it's not like they have even artificial sugars, because it doesn't have any sweetness to it. It's just like straight seltzer water.
It's great, son.
Shit, that's crazy.
For some reason, I just think of it being like at a rave or whatever, like just a hard seltzer. Like, I'm working up a sweat. I need something to drink.
Ron, I'm not picturing you at a rave.
I can just see the rave people drinking these hard seltzers. Sweating everywhere from dancing. I need some. Here you go. Drink one of these. Keep it moving.
In the comments, Paul says, explain Don Rickles to Todd. And then Ryan says, hops and cannabis are close plant cousins. They are, which makes sense. Paul says, the wolves among the weeds. And then says, don't go chasing rods, stick to the lakes. He also doesn't want no scrubs, I heard. And then Paul says, stale bong water. Yum.
Stale bong water.
And then Ryan says, my fiance, Brenda, she enjoys those alcoholic seltzers on a hot day, less sugar hangovers than cocktails, she says. Which, yeah, that's another way to look at it. You know, you that's the one thing a lot of people that like the sweeter, fruitier drinks. Yeah. Those cause big time hangovers for a lot of people. So if you just eliminate the sugars, probably is much better the next day. And Paul says they spike the punch. And then Elbow 88 says, I like the Hemperor from New Belgium. Smells like weed, tastes like an IPA. And I know you've had it. Rod has Eric, Todd, you guys have the Hemperor? I didn't try it.
I have not, no.
Yeah, I like the Emperor. So
I haven't had that one.
Yeah, well, you like it better when you get it for, what was it, -$3 or something like that? You got like a gift in addition to getting it for free.
Oh, you don't have one, Joe, but Todd has a Kroger too. I don't know if Eric has Kroger, but I mean, if they're going to price them at $9.49 a 6-pack, and everybody else is at 15 or 12. That's not on me.
Our Krogers don't sell good beers like that.
I'll have to look at my local Kroger.
He said my Kroger doesn't sell good beers like that. That's fantastic.
I took it up to ask him what that price was. It ready? Yep, $9.49. All right, I'll be back.
He said, all right, I'll be back. Not cool. All right, I'll be back. He's freaking Arnold over here. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
But about 3 weeks later, they adjusted it, so it put like 12 something or 13 it went to. But
I got a case for $40. That's stupid.
Well, you know, I did that Third Coast Old Ale.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know about it.
That was a case I got for $12.99.
I know. I didn't want to say anything in the review. I saw the review and I'm like, that's that same beer he got for like 50 cents a bottle, right? That's the same. I'm not going to mention it in my comment. I'm not going to say anything. Be like, oh, it held up well, Rod, or whatever. It was 49 cents a bottle. Fantastic.
I swear I might be buying beer from Goodfellas. I don't know.
You might be. Bum says Don Rickles just dropped his pants and fired a rocket. And then Paul says, would it be cheaper to buy a case of flavored water and a bottle of Tito? Maybe. Where's the fruit coming from though, Paul? You gotta get some kind of different fruits going on. It's not just straight seltzer water, it's fruited seltzer water for the most part.
Gotta get the fruit in there.
You can just buy like a cheap pre-made like lime juice or lemon juice that they have for like $1 or $1.50, like real lemon. I guess you could go the cheap route since you're already going the cheap route anyway, right? So.
But speaking of Tito's, not Tito's specifically, but thinking of tequila, Tito's is tequila, right?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Tito's is tequila.
So
I thought it was vodka, isn't it?
Tito's is vodka.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Tequila.
Oh, he did say flavored. Never mind. Sorry, Paul. Don't. And he called me mad. Come on now.
It's like Tito could be. He's not right. You don't think vodka, you think tequila. Anyway, going to just tequila, they were saying.
There you go.
There. The vodka.
Yeah, there's Todd. He's like, we do make our own. Paul hit the
Well, anyway, talking about tequila.
That was courtesy of the missus. She said, here, show them.
They were talking about next year that there's more beers that they're going to have like infused with tequila and some of the stuff you'll see out there. So you got to realize, I mean, it ran a long time with the bourbon stuff. So I think that there's been some with tequila that have come out very well. So
that Flat 12 here locally, they did a tequila IPA with their half cycle, which is their standard IPA, and it was really good. I mean, actually made the IPA better than their standard.
Why don't you put this shit in here all the time?
I kind of balanced it out. I thought I was like, this would be interesting, but you know, it was pretty tasty, really.
The best tequila beer I had was a Lost Abbey. They did there was like an imperial stout with agave nectar plus aged tequila barrels, and it was pretty freaking tasty, no doubt. But I think, I don't know, I feel like tequila is one of those barrels that doesn't really mesh well with other, a lot of styles. There's only certain styles it's going to go with. So you got to have probably a good understanding of how it's going to, mesh with whatever style you're brewing. That's why probably you don't see a lot, because it's not just like a bourbon or whiskey where you're just like, put it in every fucking style. It's
yeah. But I've seen some delicate screwed up on some. So like, why do you barrel it? Kind of ruined it too. So
yeah,
like you can't barrel everything. I like it. You want to try it, but you can't. It's like you can't deep fry everything. I mean,
you can try, but it's not always going to work out.
It doesn't deep fry well. I've seen that on Food Channel before. So
no, it's probably just pure sugar. This Skittles basically.
But I like they tried it. They were not going to be shut down. Out in Oklahoma, distributors there was a story I read about distributors were expanding to meet more demand. So in Oklahoma, they're actually pushing for more stuff out there. So now they're opening up for like stores and, not just liquor stores, but grocery stores. They're getting higher distribution. So it was funny because I was thinking back to the show that you were on yesterday, and I put a comment there, but nobody ever read the comments on Nick's things about it.
Don't blame me though. Just don't blame me. I tried multiple times. I could not get I could not get consecutive comments read at any point in time.
Well, there was at one point they're talking about. So I don't know if Matt brought up something about like a possible bubble. Like this bubble's been out there for years. People keep saying. So here's a situation where you have like expansion in that area. At the same time, you have something like Constellation Brands. They actually just went through a restructuring. So they actually just pretty much laid off 60 of their 100 craft beer specialists, which is kind of huge considering Constellation. And, of course, they have Ballast Point and a few other key breweries out there. But it's a matter of time. It's a matter of who you are. It's a matter if you stretch yourself too thin as well. And the thing like with Ballast Point, why I enjoy Ballast Point, I think sometimes they're higher than what they should be. They kind of overextend themselves. So it could have been just something where it was going to hit them naturally at some point too. But I think you're still seeing a lot of good beer stuff out there. You're still seeing a lot of people gravitate toward it.
And I also think I think the whole bubble thing's kind of played out at this point, because I think the bubble, I want to say the bubble has been bursting, because it hasn't. It's been a bubble that's just a little bit of a leak here, a little bit of a leak here. It's deflating ever so slowly. All right, Eric. Eric, take it easy, buddy, if you want to say goodbye or whatever.
Eric.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got my buddy's here. He's got some issues. So
all right.
Yeah,
Take
gotcha.
Hey, Eric, take it easy, bud.
Take it easy, buddy. Yeah. So the bubble is slowly deflating, and it's not going to deflate all the way. It's not going to burst. But there's also like little bubbles inside the bubbles too, because when you just say the bubble's going to burst, what the frick does that mean anymore? There's like 10 different bubbles that could burst under the craft beer umbrella, right? You can talk about expansion. You can, talk about the amount of breweries across the U.S. You could talk about the introduction of new styles. There's a bunch of stuff you can talk about. It's not really bursting. It's slowly, I guess, settling is the way I look at it. Really. Yeah, it's contracting, but it's settling to the point where there's at some point it's just going to be the norm, right? Like the bubble's going to burst, but then it's just going to be way different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's going to be the new norm or whatever. The simple fact of the matter is, regardless of whatever's going on, and there might be a few anomalies that somebody could point out here, but if you make awesome beer, you'll probably be successful.
Yeah.
That's just the way you see a lot of these breweries. And I know you have, I think, I don't know if you're going to talk about the Idaho article that you posted.
I know one I posted on the Facebook page too. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you talk about that, I don't want to, before you go into it.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say they're talking about like Idaho is basically, Rod posted an article, if you're on his Facebook, if you're friends with him on Facebook or as Rod J. BeerVentures, he posted an article where Idaho was basically, there's an article saying that like the bubble's bursting there, and their two biggest craft breweries are actually brewing less beer as the years go on, and they're worried and whatnot. But the simple fact of the matter is, it's not the craft. They try to blame it on the craft consumers, the beer drinkers. It's not our fault. What's happening is those breweries that were at the top of the game in Idaho, guess what? Somebody stepped over you, and then another person stepped over them, and then you used to be at the top of the food chain. but maybe your beer just doesn't resonate with people as much as some of the new stuff does, or something that's different. And that's the one thing that I always hate is situations like that blame the consumer, like drink more local beer. Listen, I'll drink more local beer if it's better than the stuff I can get on the shelves on a regular basis. I like to support local, but I'm not going to blindly support that local place if their beer is, in my opinion, inferior to another beer that I like that's maybe in a different part of the state or different part of the country. And a lot of local places are getting angry at that. And it's like, dude, just brew better beer on par with these other places, and I will support you, no doubt. I'll support local, but not if your product's inferior. And I always hate seeing articles like that because that's BS to me.
Yeah, there was an interesting piece to the article that may mention, the consumer, but it was saying the consumers, because we have so much of a selection, people just aren't staying consistent on stuff. Well, people are going to go to the stuff they want to try, stuff they want to like. It doesn't mean a company's going out of business because of that either. Like, you can't blame the consumers for wanting to try all the good stuff out there. But the way that writer had wrote that piece was, so again, we talked about the articles last week. It's just some of these writers, I just feel like they're hack jobs out there on some of their stuff they're doing. But
I mean, the way he started the article was like in the first few sentences, it was like, Idaho breweries they're not selling as much beer, and we can blame look at yourself or whatever. And I was like, how do you start an article like that? No, don't look at the consumer. The reason why they're not buying their stuff is they had it in the article. There was a Mother Earth they were talking about who's been doing better in Idaho, I guess. And they were talking about how like they used to have a 22-ounce double IPA that everyone loved. Now they switched the format, and it cost them more money to move to 4-packs and all this stuff. But people loved it. And then he talked about like we're in 17 or 18 states. And when you're in these getting distribution of these states, and there's 60 other breweries that are also there, and they crack open your can, and the aroma and the taste is amazing because you're putting so many pounds of hop per barrel, and the other places aren't. Who do you think they're going to go with? The one that tastes better, the one that smells better, the one that they enjoy more. So regardless if you're local or not, at the end of the day, quality matters, and that goes for all walks of life. Yes, McDonald's and Wendy's and all these places are still going to be here because it's fast food, and people sometimes need that. Right. But when you are a gourmet restaurant or like a non-chain restaurant, people go to you because your shit tastes good. They're not going to go to you because you're local. They're going to go to you because you're local and your stuff is good. That's the key. It doesn't matter if it's beer, food, or whatever. And people lose sight of that. They're just like, oh, it's local, support local. No, I'm not going to support this brewery or that brewery if they're making inferior products and you don't like them. Why? There's this blindly supporting products just because they're 15 minutes away from you and it helps the local economy is horseshit. But that's just
me. I agree. Like, you're not going to spend your hard-earned money on something you're not really enjoying, or not a good experience, not good taste, not good food, beer, whatever it is. It's all,
Yep.
Why buy it? Like you said, why spend your money if you're getting something that's inferior to something else?
Well, like anything, I mean, proof is in the pudding, right? So not the ludes, but the proof is in the pudding. So you support local, but local has to back it up and be able to offer something that you want to come out there and enjoy as well. I mean, if it's not going to be a great beer, why would you go to them as much?
Yeah. And on top of it, there's a lot of options now locally. You have 60 breweries by you, Rod. I have like 25 in the Buffalo area. I'm sure Todd has a shit ton. Now you have even more options locally. So if these local breweries aren't great, then I'll go to these other local breweries and see what they have. And you have your local favorites that you're going to support over the rest of them because you enjoy their stuff more. And if you have that $10, $15 for that 4-pack and you have 10 different options, you're going to go with the one that you either want to try more or that is good. And that's one of your favorites or whatever. And I don't know, to blame the consumer, again, like you said, it's just one guy in an article, but there's a lot of articles like this all over the country, all over the world, where they're like, support local and, it's your fault that craft beer bubble is bursting and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not our fault. What happened was there's a lot of people that wanted to get into craft beer over the last 5 or 10 years, and a lot of breweries opened up in the States, and now you're going to see survival of the fittest. Which breweries are going to last because they make quality products it doesn't even have to be a reasonable price. If you make quality products, people will pay what they'll pay if they want your beer.
Right.
Story. So
that's what I was going to say. That was a good point there, because I don't think it's oversaturated. It's just that there's not enough good people making quality stuff that they want to go to. So they're weeding themselves out by having so many, in one area. that you're just going to go to gravitate to the one that's going to give you the best, product or bang for your buck, I guess, maybe too at some point.
Well, the thing with the competition that you have out there now with so many different ones, not just in your own area, but just across the country in general, you got other breweries that are getting into your area because the distribution is that if you do have flaws will be exposed. So you should be held to a higher account to make the best beer you can actually make. You just can't throw shit out there anymore and expect people to buy it,
Yeah, and a lot of these breweries learn the hard way. I mean, I'll give an example of like a couple Canadian breweries that expanded into New York State out of Ontario, Mill Street Brewery and Bose Brewery, pretty well known across Canada and some people in the States. And they came in the Western New York area, and they're like, oh, Bose is here, and they're one of Ontario's best craft breweries or whatever. They had a $5.50 Kolsch on the like their main beer is Bose Lug Shred, which is a Kolsch. It's a good Kolsch, but I can't tell you. And it was a 500 ml bottle, so you're talking 16.9 ounces. But I don't know too many people that are willing to pay $5.50 to $6 for a Kolsch in a 500 ml bottle on the shelf when there's in the States. You know how we all have very similar bottle shops where you can walk in and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of beers. I can tell you right now, I don't know anybody that's going to walk in and be like, oh man, well, maybe Ryan from Beer by the Numbers, he loves Kolsch, so shout out to him. But he's in the minority at this point, I would say. And like I said, I like that beer. I think it's a well-made Kolsch. But if you're coming to a new market and you're bringing a Kolsch and it's overpriced, I mean, there's Kolsch's on the shelf for $2 a can. So right. Here's an imported one for almost $6 for one in a third can, basically 60.9 ounces. You know what? They were out of here in about 6 months. They were out of the state. I have not seen that beer, but I've also only seen one other of their beers. Like I don't say they totally pulled distribution, but they cut back a lot because no one's buying that stuff. Same thing with Mill Street in Toronto. They got bought up by, I think it was Molson Coors.
Okay.
And they tried to get in here, and again, within less than a year, they pulled out as well. I have not seen any of their products locally again, at least in the Western New York area. I can't speak for all New York State, but I'm pretty sure it's similar. When you're coming into new markets and whatnot, you got to have something different than what the locals have. Here's the problem nowadays: most places in the States, at least large markets, they already have all different kinds of styles and crazy stuff and hyped breweries and stuff. So it's hard to get into markets nowadays outside your own little local area. It really is. So it's a lot of breweries just don't know what they're doing or just think their beer is better than it is. And unfortunately, in the long run, they find that out, although they should have found that out right in the beginning.
And I think that was a good thing in the piece that actually, that the writer didn't really look at was that he's basically saying, well, people are just buying their local type stuff. Well, that's great. They're buying their local type stuff. So don't attack them for not buying other beers, Yeah. Basically, the article could have been craft drinkers prefer to go local, and you could have wrote about that. So it's like, what, did you have a buddy working at a brewery or something that he's upset you're trying to help out with this piece or what? So
yeah, I don't know. Those articles always, I'm fired up a little bit. They just frustrate me because it's like you blaming the consumer, and to blame the consumer and to have. I'm maybe the breweries aren't probably happy with that article, but you're blaming the consumer in that situation. Just horse crap. This is not the consumer's fault. Just not.
Right.
There's a lot we're at fault for, but that's just not one of them.
Yeah. And then we had the In-N-Out. We didn't talk about that, I think, last week. The In-N-Out cease and desist letter that was sent to Seven Stills Brewery Distillery. So that was a whole interesting thing because they had basically an In-N-Out type label on their cans. But it's really actually, if you haven't read the letter, I would say good. If you go to my Facebook page, Rod J. BeerVentures, I have a piece. I don't know if it showed up yet or it's going to be coming up tomorrow on it. But it's a copy of the letter. And right there with the letter was actually a whole pun-filled letter, which was actually pretty funny on how they put it together. But since that point, Seven Stills is going with new packaging. And the funny thing was what they did is like the first 100 people or so that bought the new beer get like a free In-N-Out burger or something. So it's kind of funny how they poked back at In-N-Out from it too. So that again is out in the Earth's area out there in California. So
I would have just let them go. It's free advertising. You know what I mean? maybe buy a pack that you start getting people thinking about going in and out. Be like, oh, I just got this beer. Let me go get, animal style. I'm going to go get one.
That sounds like a good pairing opportunity, some In-N-Out burgers and some of the beer from that brewery.
Seems like a lost opportunity.
Yeah. So, but the guys aren't at each other's throat or anything like that either. But it was just like they poked a little fun back at In-N-Out 4. But they did miss an opportunity there, I think. So, don't get so caught up on your belief in logo or whatever that you miss that opportunity for business. And then the other piece I saw was Americans who drink alcohol still prefer beer, 42% over wine, 34%, and liquor, 19%. And now millennials like Todd have tended to become more fonder of beer. So we've heard these reports over the last couple of years about how beer was losing favor versus wine and versus liquor. And this is actually done by Gallup each year. And they track back the numbers from 2010 up to now. And it's actually grown where beer has again taken the lead, more people like it. And they also found like as a way of affluence, people that are making more income, more professional, I've also gravitated higher to beer as well too. So this whole thing with the whole, we're losing ground on the beer type thing just isn't there. It's more just fodder out there that people are throwing things around. When you look inside numbers and you look at different things, beer is doing just fine. And again, it's like that whole craft beer we talk about all the time. It's like the golden era. Like people are like, well, I'm tired of this. I'm tired. Like, well, don't drink that style. Guess what? Yeah. We got like 100 styles out there. You don't want a hazy IPA? Don't drink a hazy IPA.
Yeah,
I don't agree with those millennial numbers at all. Not one bit.
Beer. You got 100 styles, and how many sub styles underneath those styles? Like ridiculous amounts. Is that, what would you call that? Fake news? Is that what you're saying? That's fake news. Those numbers are fake news.
And then it was I was reading another thing. Well, here's another thing. I didn't post this article out there. I may have posted it, but I wasn't going to really talk about it. But we were talking about the other one that this guy wrote. It was an article about food and wine, and it was like the 9 best styles of beer in America people are drinking right now. And they're going through, and they're like, oh, before we say the first one, we're going to talk about this one here. And it was like, okay, it was like sours, and then it was IPAs, and then it was like fruit flavored. Just fruit flavored. That's the style you're going with, And then it was some other generic name. I'm like, dude, who wrote this article? And it was like stout porter, and then something else that made no sense. It's like, seriously, find out the styles you're going to put.
Pretty broad range there. Fruit flavor.
Fruit flavor. What's the base style? It's just fruit flavored. What do you mean? It's a blueberry.
Zima with watermelon or Zima with cherry?
It depends on your Jolly Rancher choice, of course.
Pretty sure the BJCP would not say this is actually a style for what you're saying. Not no hard criticism against you, but your name is Food and Wine. I mean, you should know Food and Wine. Now, if you were a Papa Mechanic, I might let you get away with it. So.
Let's just get a blueberry beer and give them a blueberry IPA and then a blueberry stout and see if there's any kind of difference between the two. I guess they're just fruit flavored. There's definitely a difference. Yeah, that's you should.
One style was like non-alcoholic or low alcoholic. Really, that's not a style.
It's just a beer with no alcohol. That's all that is.
It's called H2O.
It's called hop water. Is what it's called.
How do these guys get jobs that are writing these pieces sometimes? Like, geez.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but every time I see like a raspberry beer, it just says raspberry beer on it. It doesn't tell me anything. It just says raspberry beer. I don't know the style. It's just a raspberry beer.
The fruit beer, it's just weird. It's like most of your fruit type stuff are usually your wheat beers, but it's just like people don't dig down enough to just put a little generic label on it.
Yeah,
when you're going to do it all the way.
Well, it could be like those, like those dum-dum suckers where you get the mystery one, you just open it up and it's white. And you lick it, and it's like, could be grape, could be cherry. Maybe that's what they're going for, raspberry.
Clearly Todd is not a millennial. He is referencing Dum Dum Suckers from 1982 or whatever. Those are fantastic, though. Those were the mystery flavors were pretty awesome, no doubt.
But what are the sour heads? I think they have a mystery one, too. You just open it up, and it's white, and it's whatever it is, They should do it. They should do it. Raspberry, that's what it is. You pour it, it's black, it's a stout. If it's, whatever, maybe it's...
Speaking of mystery beers, before we go on to the next thing, Rod, Nickelbrook in Ontario, Burlington, they did a mystery beer. I think it was like a mix pack, and they had people vote on what their favorite was, and whatever the favorite was ended up becoming like an official beer. And I forgot the beers, but I know the one that won was like a New England style IPA. But it was cool to see a brewery be like, here's 3 mystery beers in a mixed pack and vote on what you want to see as like a regular beer. I wish a U.S. company would do that. I think it'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it with like Doritos and I was be like, oh, what's the flavor? Like, what the hell? The Oreos had them guess the flavor from last year that ended up being, what the hell was it? Fruity Pebbles was the flavor of the Oreo in the middle, like the stuffing. And you had to guess it, and if you guessed it, you win $1 million. But it's kind of fun. They should do that for beers, right? I think it'd be good times.
Yeah. That's a good way to actually get people involved on it. I one time bought a 12-pack. It was like a mystery 12-pack. You know what it was in it. It was like craft brewer beer. And that was kind of fun to go through. You didn't get to vote on anything, but it was like, oh, what beers did they put in here? It was like 3 of each. There were 4 different ones. So that's always fun.
To speak of, we have Malt Mustang here, and he goes, don't fruit the malt. Follow the blueprint.
Don't do that. And it's funny about you miss Eric. He was here earlier. He had to take off, but he was mentioning that he almost picked up. What did he say he almost got tonight to drink?
Mickey's.
Oh, Mickey. I said, you should have got it. We got some fans of malt in here. You should have picked it up.
I mean, I like Mickey's.
Yeah.
I haven't
had Mickey's in a while.
Last time I had, I think it was grenades, though. I didn't have the 40. It's hard to find 40 Mickeys in my neck of the woods. Usually grenades, if anything.
Yeah.
Usually getting like Colt 45. I'm trying to think of others that.
Colt 45.
Is Little King's a malt? Was that a malt?
No, Little King's cream ale.
Cream ale, okay. It's a little like.
Go head to head with Jenny cream ale. Head to head. Little Kings or Jenny?
You do a head to head between them already?
No, I don't get Little Kings. You guys get Little Kings. Someone send me one and I'll do a head to head.
I didn't know you didn't get those up there.
Oh shit, we might have to do like. Oh, yeah.
I thought everybody got Little Kings.
Head to head, we'll do a blind. No, I can't do a blind because I'm sure. I mean, I could probably get it.
You would know which one it would be.
Well, it's in a smaller bottle. Is that what it is?
Okay. It's like 8-ounce bottle.
Oh, is it? I had no idea they were selling 8-ounce bottles. Jesus, I can't really do blind.
I'm trying to trick you with like one of the old Miller High Life bottles. Like,
no, I know Little King has they have like a reputation and been around for a while, but I think that's been basically Midwest. It has not. I've never seen it here. They don't get distribution here. I can't think of ever seeing it. So I think it's more Midwest.
Yeah, they used to be out of I don't know if it was Cincinnati, but I think it was Ohio here, and they just reopened, I believe, their brewery or redoing stuff there. So,
nice.
But part of the brewing history out of the Ohio region.
Hey, have either of you guys had this one yet? The Samoa this from Southern Tier?
Oh yeah.
I haven't had it. How do you like it?
Oh yeah.
It's a Samoa liquid form in a glass.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Samoa cookies, so.
Yeah. Wait,
you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing wrong. You gotta put them in the freezer. You can't just eat them out of the box. You got to put them in the freezer.
All right, listen.
No, yeah, that's not my Girl Scout cookie. I like occasionally I'll eat Thin Mints, but it's really the Dipsy Doodles or whatever, the peanut butter ones.
Oh, they're
the peanut butter ones. We have the peanut butter ones in between.
Yeah, those are good, but the fact that you don't like Samoas are like you're dead to me.
But
you're dead.
The peanut butter ones.
Joe's like a coconut fiend, so you really can't have both.
No, it doesn't matter. They're amazing. What are the Girl Scouts? Tagalongs.
Tagalongs.
Well, we get tagalongs, and then we got like
Dosey-Dos are the ones you're thinking of.
Yeah.
The tagalongs are good, but they're no Samoa.
Lemon cream, I like.
Dosey-Dos are just the shortbread ones, right?
No, they have peanut butter. They have
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Different groups have different ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they have. See, the caramel ones, they a lot of them go by different. Like there's peanut butter patties and tagalongs. They're the same thing depending on the area. Samoas can be either that or caramel delights, depending on where you are. The Dosey,
I might be interested in,
Dosey-Dos, or they're called peanut butter sandwiches, but they're pretty much the exact same thing.
I will say I'm not a biggest fan of the Samoa straight out of the box, but if you put them in the freezer, they're freaking amazing.
You guys are both dead to me. Whatever, I'll fucking eat them raw. They don't even need to be cooked. There's toasted coconut there. Like none of it matters. No, but that beer is that. I mean, if you like Samoas or Caramel Delights or whatever, that beer. That's the one thing I'll say about Southern Tier's Blackwater series. Like I just did the Cherry Cordial for review, and that I haven't reviewed that beer, but I might at some point because it was fantastic. But like all of them hit the nail on the head. Like whether it's the salted caramel one that they did, or the thick mint, or the Samoa, or the Cherry Cordial. they creme brulee, they all taste like whatever they're trying to replicate as far as the dessert goes in liquid form, and they're all like 10%, and you cannot taste the alcohol at all. It's just like amazing what they do.
Southern Tier is pretty solid along those lines.
Yeah, they it's crazy how they do them so well. Now,
Bum makes reference to the Do-si Dos.
Let's see what he said. Do-si Dos are the peanut butter sandwich cookies. Believe me, I know. They are. The tag-alongs are the
they're peanut butter like too, but they're like
they're chocolate. They're chocolate covered. Yeah, those are good. Listen, I love all the Girl Scout cookies. That's why I'm fat and trying to lose weight. They're fantastic. All of them are.
I actually didn't get any Girl Scout cookies this past year because I was working from the house, and it's like I was in the office, like there was no Girl Scout things going around. Like I got missed and somewhere in the loop. Like
you would have had like 10 boxes
around now. Oh, God. Just buy the Toll House ones at the market.
Yeah, I could have went to Kroger. I guess got them from some of the kids there, but
the Thin Mint ones in the freezer are the best when it comes to like out of the freezer. I know you said Samoas, but I've never actually tried that because I usually end up just eating them all before they go in the freezer.
Before you can freeze them.
But the Thin Mints are perfect. Like it is fantastic right out of the freezer. They're great.
But the best Girl Scout cookies sale that I heard about this past year, and she got penalized for it. But she was like in Colorado, and she went and she sold them outside one of the dispensaries out there.
Yeah.
Sold out like crazy amounts of Girl Scout cookies, and then they penalized her because basically it was like a Girl Scout way to do stuff. I'm like, what better place to go to than right there at the marijuana spot?
She's smarter than everybody. She should win all of it, regardless for sales. Like that is the best thing ever. Like that's what you want. You want them to.
They penalize her for what? For using her mind and figuring out, hey, I can sell a bunch right here.
Be like, they're gonna have the munchies. Yeah, that's super intelligent. I understand.
Second spot would have been outside Golden Corral.
Now I want some Girl Scout cookies, bastard.
Apparently, which one of my friends on Facebook he had posted that he took his mom to Golden Corral a couple days ago for her birthday or whatever. She wanted to go there. And apparently they have crab legs now because she wanted to go for crab leg night. I can't imagine Golden Corral on a crab leg night. I mean, I got to think you're elbowing like crazy in there. Because I've seen it in the casinos where it's crab leg night. People go
there's a local, I want to say it's like an Asian buffet, and they do crab legs on a whatever Saturday. And I went there once because my boy's like, oh, the crab legs, you can't. Like, I don't care about crab legs, but I went with them, and as soon as they put that plate up there, man, I think I saw at least 3 fists meet somebody's face at least 3 times. I'm just like, dude, they're crab legs. And they're at a buffet that's like $15 or $20. And I'm like, they can't be great. They're free crab legs. I'm like, I get it. But like, you don't have to injure people to get to them. It's all right. They're gonna be, yeah.
Is there a food you would ever push somebody out of the way for on a buffet line? I mean,
no, I mean, so. You listen to get in a fight over food or something like that. It's just, I mean, come on, man. What are you doing?
It's not a buffet. It probably isn't that good anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah, probably not, unless you go to like a high scale upper echelon buffet, which I'm not going to go to because I'm probably not going to eat enough to make it worthwhile. You know, if you're going to like $100 buffet, like I've been eating a lot of stuff to reach that $100. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, buffets aren't bad. Like, they're fine. But, yeah, and I'm not – for crab legs or, like – I wouldn't be there and be like, oh, you can eat filet mignon. I'm like, what kind of filet is this now? It's like $5 a pound filet?
The idea of these people, like, basically shoving each other around to get to these crab legs, we get to do so much work to even get the meat out of them.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, it takes so long to eat those things. Like, everybody can get crab legs while you're there.
I mentioned to you guys, I'm not a huge seafood guy, like when it comes to crab legs or like lobster or whatever. And part of the reason is because it's too much effort to get a little bit of like meat.
Right.
It's like,
and then you leave and you're still hungry.
Yeah, you use little things, and it's just like, dude, I want other stuff that I can like. I don't have to break open. I can just eat it because it's in front of me.
Well, it's like we've been in New Orleans a few times. I went there one time and got one of the places down there off of Bourbon Street, like some peel and eat shrimp. They bring it over. It's like, I mean, what's peel and eat? It was peel and eat. I mean, like, no, like, dog, this is just like out of the ocean and boiled, and there you go. You know, on the tail, everything. Like, it takes forever to get through these things to try to get it done. And it's just like, they just give you like a pail where you just throw your shell into, but it's like, this is not worth it. It's not worth it.
I'm here. Listen, I'm paying you for these things. I shouldn't have to work harder than you to actually get into my food.
But yeah, but I mean,
way to look at it, Joe. I never thought about that.
You look at beer, people line up for beer too, but I can't see.
No, I've never I've heard stories about like people, pushing someone out of the way or running to somewhere to get the stuff, or like, I mean,
look at like Black Friday, how crazy it gets for people.
Oh yeah, I mean, for KBS 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I can't remember. It was either 13 or 14, I can't remember, but a couple buddies of mine came down from Canada, and we went to the KBS release, and we went there, and whatever, it was like 10 in the morning because they were supposed to have them at 9, but the truck didn't show up or whatever. So we just sat. Bottle Shop here has like, it's called Premier Gourmet, has a bunch of like gourmet foods, but it also has like a coffee shop. So sat down at a coffee shop, got a coffee, just chilled or whatever. So all of a sudden it was like 11 o'clock and the truck came in, but they didn't get as many as they were supposed to. So instead of a 4-pack per person, it was 2 beers per person. And we were fine. We were like, whatever. I mean, who cares? Whatever. We at least we're getting a bottle of it. So we each got a couple bottles, and I stayed around and we BS'd with the manager there for about 15, 20 minutes. In the same amount of time, a dude went outside, changed clothes, and came back in and tried to get 2 more bottles because he was so upset that they were supposed to get 4. I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? You went to all the effort to go outside, and you brought extra clothes with you to change into extra clothes to try to get just 2 extra bottles of KBS. Like what? Like that's low effort, but that's still more effort than you should put in to get any kind of beer. And I've heard all kinds of stuff. No, because the manager's there and he's like, I just saw you 5 minutes. Like, what are you doing? He's like,
that's my brother. That's my twin brother.
Let me see your ID. Same ID.
But apparently, that dude did it multiple times. I guess in the future, when the manager wasn't there for other releases that weren't as like popular. And I'm just like, dude, it's just beer, bro. You're gonna put on a whole new disguise to just go get 2 more bottles? Just go to another store. Yeah. That's all you have to, because around that area, there's at least within 10 or 15 minutes, another half dozen to 8 stores probably that were getting the beer. And all he had to do was go to those. But he'd go back like, fucking.
Maybe he was banned from the other ones, like for trying to do it too much.
He might, dude. It's, I've been at places where there were no limits, and I know the beer was hard to get, and I still just took at the most whatever a 4-pack was. Of the thing. I could buy the entire case. I mean, I've heard stories, people at like, you say Kroger, the place for your local grocery store. Here we got Wegmans. I've heard stories of, and again, I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago. So people nowadays like, hey, KBS is on the shelf. I know this 4 or 5 years ago. Okay, when it didn't sit on the shelf, and people got shanked.
They didn't know what it was.
No, they were trying to kill people. Clearly, dressing up.
Just stuck it out there.
Yeah, so the one local there was only like a couple Wegmans in the area that actually got KBS because the beer managers there were actually like, beer geeks. And the one place got, I think it was like a case or a case and a half, but they put no limits on it. And no limits on it, and people were taking them, and by people I mean like 2 dudes, I guess, took them and put them in the mixed 6-pack for $9.99. So they took the $24 or $25 4-pack of KBS and they put it in like 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. I think they like split it between the 2 in the mix of 6-pack. So they ended up each getting like, it was like 18 bottles of KBS for like $30.
Now that's theft.
Now that's straight up theft, but also like, holy shit. I mean, and they knew what they were doing because clearly no one at the register is going to be like, oh man, is that beer in there? No, they didn't. Like, they had no idea.
Especially nowadays, if you swipe it yourself. I mean, back then, if they had the same thing where you swipe it yourself.
That was it. Well, yeah, the mix of 6-pack, they actually, I think, have it on the, they would just have the, the barcode on the 6-pack itself. Yeah, right, $9.99. Now it's $10.99 because it went up, but it was like, I'm just like, dude, that not only are you stealing, because you literally just stole whatever, like fucking $30 or $40 from Wegmans, but you took all the beers from anyone else that even had a chance.
Yeah.
But I blame more Wegmans. I blame the people for being douches and obviously stealing. They should get in trouble for that. But I also, if you're a beer geek and you're the manager, you should probably been like one per person or have somebody until they're all gone. I mean, if you only have a case and a half, that's what, 36 bottles? Like it's, it's going to go quick.
For them, it's like, hey, we made the sales, so they're probably happy with that. And they're like, how come our beer number is lower than it should have been? We should have made more money off of this. So
It's I've seen people do that though. I've actually seen people do that in Wegmans in general. Take like beers they're not supposed to from like the shelf of like, oh, here's a $4 beer or whatever. We'll just put it in this mix of, like nobody pays attention, so nobody cares. But you're technically stealing.
Where Jo is like a party source. I've been in there like a few times. That's where I got like one of the last times I got zombie dust. It was like in carts and they were all fresh and it was no limit. Zombie dust. It was like, I don't know, $1.99 a bottle or $2.99 a bottle, whatever the price was. And it was just like, you could easily just take the whole cart and check it out. If you love zombie dust that much.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is listen, if you really love that beer and you want a case of it and that's the way to get it, like I wouldn't mind if they walked in and bought the entire case for the price, sticker price or whatever.
Right.
But if their intention is to like trade it or whatever, that's kind of BS. Like I'm always of the go buy the beer if you love it and you're going to plan on drinking of it. You want to be greedy, that's fine, especially for something like KBS that comes out once a year. But you know damn well those dudes were drinking all 18 bottles. I know for a fact they weren't, because back then KBS was like, it was basically like having dollars in your hand. It was traded extremely well if people searching for it. Especially 5 years ago, Founders didn't nearly have the distribution they have now. I mean, hell, I didn't get Founders in my area until late 2013 when this happened. So so it had to be 2014 because that was the first year I think we got KBS here. So, I mean, one of those things where it's just, now you can blame the consumers in that situation for being.
Well, that's the funny thing now because I see KBS on the shelves in different stores with no problem. It's like, they definitely oversaturated their market more than they needed to. And I see the 1050 bourbon barrel everywhere now. So,
oh, dude, you fucking hook us up, brother. I don't see it everywhere.
You guys needed it.
Yeah, we see it a lot here too, Rod. Same thing here.
I repeat, hook me up next time. We don't see it here all the time. Hook me up. So we have some comments I'll read since I haven't since Bum. Eric Gilbert says drinking a Wellington Imperial Stout and a Christoph Maduro. I'd imagine that's a cigar. Smoking a cigar.
What did Bum say?
No, that Eric Gilbert. He's drinking a Wellington Imperial Stout and a Christoph Maduro. Is that a?
Sounds like a cigar.
Sounds like a cigar.
Christoph Maduro's probably he does a lot of whiskey, so it might be a whiskey.
I was thinking whiskey, but I've never heard of that one. But Eric does drink.
Usually with a good whiskey with a good stout, yeah.
Yeah. Paul says, he is doing the same thing to all the local stores. Yeah, he probably did. But then again, like I said, Wegmans only 2. Eric, maybe Eric drinks all the way down here and clear the shelves.
Well, you ever go into things? Sometimes you go in and you're like, I'm gonna get a couple beers, or you like a small basket. And you get around the corner, you see the beer stuff, and they got like so many good deals. You're like, shit, let me go back and get a cart.
And that happens in bottle shops too. I'll walk in and be like, man, I'm good with this one 4-pack holder, this one 6-pack, and then I look around at the new releases. I'm like, probably make that at least 2 6-pack holders. You know what I mean? It's about to get deep. Paul says, love it when they put beers like that in the mix of 6 section. When they do that, that's on them. No, I agree. I've seen. What was it? I'm trying to think of like the most expensive one. I mean, I've seen like the Southern Tier, the thick mint in the
some of the new Hemperor. That was put in making your own 6-pack section.
Yeah, I mean, when you see beers out, even some of the bigger Dogfish head beers, not like the Danger Cap $10 ones, but I'm trying to think of what are some more of a Dogfish that's a bit more expensive.
Like the 90 might be in there sometimes. They'll slip up with that out there. Yeah, I've never seen the 120 get out there. That would definitely be going.
I think like Palo Santo Marron I've seen before too, like that beer in there, and that's like a $4 or $5 beer, and it was in there before, and I'm like, oh shit, time to go.
We had one of our Kroger slip up and put Pappy Van Winkle's out for $40 a bottle.
Wow, that's wow.
That friend wiped out the whole row when he saw it.
I feel like Eric probably just had a heart attack. Eric Gilbert did. He's like, what? Bum says the Giant Eagle stores around here put a big permanent marker / across the caps of beers that qualify for mixed 6 status. So what's stopping someone from bringing their own marker and just being like, boom, boom, boom? Did they have a special marker, or I'd be curious.
Special shade of Sharpie.
Yeah, it's like this is charcoal and this one's black. It's like what? Paul says I drank my case of KBS, but I was sad when it was gone, and guess I should have bought 2. No, Paul. no. 1 case of KBS is enough for you, buddy. You know.
Paul wrecked enough stuff with the 1 case.
Yep. Whiskey Throttle shows up and says, at Rajay BeerVentures, a sup, Beery White.
What is whiskey? Yeah.
I remember he called you that last time. That's pretty good.
Beery White.
And Eric Gilbert says, cigar sons? See, I'm not that stupid.
I need to get some new cigars, actually. I should just get a humidor and get, like, I get these catalogs to get humidors and, like, the cigars sent to me, but it's like, I don't want that many cigars laying around. I can do it, like, once every few months or so.
Gotcha. And then Bum, I guess he typed this probably when I was saying it. He says, although I guess anyone could come into the store brandishing a marker of their own. Yeah. See, Bum? Same wavelength, buddy. That's
great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about great.
But... Well, I mean, average minds sometimes think alike, too. Let's see. Drunken One says, poop. Frickin' late again. It's all right, Drunken One. You're
running on Texas time.
It's a 9 o'clock computer restart.
He says hello to everyone. Bum says hello. So does Paul. And then Eric Gilbert says all over Pappy for MSRP.
Yeah.
Most people would be. If they had, that's the thing with Pappy. I think a lot of people wouldn't even mind paying hundreds of dollars for it, but
yeah,
can you get it? Most places don't get many bottles of it, and usually when they're done, it's like on the down low, hush hush. Let's give it to our best. Get
the Weller 12-year.
Oh.
That is the cutoff for Pappy. That is the Pappy family that doesn't approve it to be the Pappy brand goes to Weller 12-year.
Oh, okay.
And you can get it for $39. If you can find it, you can get it for like $39 a bottle.
For someone who has Tito vodka in his house, dropping knowledge.
now it used to be kind of a hush hush thing around here, but now everybody kind of knows it.
Oh,
and Weller 12-year is like almost impossible to find for that reason. It's like the cutting point for going into maybe like the 12-year Pappy. I'm not sure what the actual basis is for it, but that's what the cut point is for it. So if you find the 12-year Weller, pick it up.
All right, look out for that one too.
Our buddy Greg Bylog is here, and by our buddy I mean not Rod or me, and probably not Todd. So really nobody's buddy. And he says, "Put a uniform on, Joe. You look like a fool." Here's the thing, Greg. A uniform is not going to help me. Okay, I'm still going to look like a fool. The joke's on you. Also, he actually is watching a Beer Flow show, so golf clap for him because he's the guy that when we do beer analysis 101, he won't even walk like 10 feet down to the liquor store to get whatever beer. Like if he has to like go outside of a mile, he just starts. You gotta make me work for it. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, he lives on Fast and Furious Avenue, so for him, it's
true.
dangerous to walk outside.
Last night was the worst too. Like he was on the show and there was just this constant noise and people were trying to figure it out. And every time I'd mute him, it'd go away. I'm like, it's Greg. But then he would unmute himself. It's like, okay.
Hour.
Yeah, it's just a constant hum of traffic. Like something's happening.
Yeah.
And then we have one comment from Redbeard who says, what be going down?
What's happening, Red?
Redbeard, did you grab the video that I posted for you? Did you grab it yet? If not, do so soon.
I'll do it this weekend, Red, by the way. I haven't done it yet.
Just let me know so I can. I just want to delete it off of my videos or whatever.
Oh, Weller. He says solid 47 in Ontario.
Nice.
You can find it there.
Sweet.
The 12-year? Is it the 12-year?
Yeah, he said Weller 12.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Wow, 47 is cheap as shit for that's probably like low 30s American. 30,
no
30.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, not many people know that, but that is the cut point for the Weller before it becomes Weller.
Yeah.
The Pappy.
Pappy, yeah.
The Weller 12 is like the cut point for Pappy.
Pre-Pappy.
Right. Yeah.
You just say pre-Pappy? Did that just happen?
Pre-Pappy.
Right. That's what it is.
Jesus. pretty peppy. Yeah, I like it.
See, I can spit some knowledge every now and again and save you guys a few bucks here and there.
Spitting some flames, son. Oh, wait.
Todd's not just here for the pretty face. So.
Well, he's here to be the de facto millennial. That's pretty much why he's here. And that's it.
He is our millennial voice. Yeah.
But then he got the Don Rickles reference, and he started talking about dumb suckers, and it all went out the window. He blew his cover.
There goes your theory. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I can't imagine if you mentioned the dumb suckers to someone over 20 or under 20, they would be like, "What are you talking about?"
If he remembers,
what'd you call me? Yeah. Maybe what'd you call me? I'm not dumb.
Yeah, I'm not dumb. Talk about blow pops.
If he remembers the Jolly Rancher stick candy, I'd really be surprised.
Oh man, I was a fat kid. I remember all that stuff. I'm still a fat person. I still remember it.
Yeah, the double trouble bubble gum or whatever it was.
Oh man, you know what I really liked. I used to love, especially as a kid, because they were dirt cheap and they were hard. So it took a while. It was Now and Laters. Now and Laters were the right. You just go get a handful and be like 30 cents. And you should be like, yes, I'm set for the afternoon.
Well, yeah, take you 2 days to eat them all because. They still make those Now and Laters?
I hope so, because I could go for something.
God, those things are awesome. Those are great.
Those are good. I'll still eat Skittles once in a while. Like if I want something like super sweet, Skittles or Starburst are kind of like my go-to. And by go-to, I eat them like twice a year because they're just pure sugar. But Skittles are great. Until and I ranted on this on a review that I actually have. I'll come in next week. I don't know why, because it kind of tasted like candied citrus. But a couple years ago, Skittles got rid of the lime one and they put in green apple. So when you take a handful of one of each flavor, it used to have the harmony of awesomeness. Now the green apple just is like, here, I'm green apple, and I'm just going to overpower everything. I'm like, the fuck? No one asked for green apple, Skittles, right? No one asked for them. You keep the lime. And then there's petitions all over the internet. Bring back the lime. Yeah, because you fucked up. Skittles.
That's like the Marshawn Lynch power one right there.
Yeah.
See, I'm on the other side of that. I like the green apple one better.
You fucking listen.
I know it's like commie. I know it's commie.
I don't know what's worse. Rod doesn't like Samoas, or you want the green apple Skittles over the lime. Now you're both that to me. No, that's terrible.
The question is, do you like Sprees?
Yes.
Sprees?
I've never had a Sprees.
Yes. Anything that has.
I'm a sweet tart guy.
As a kid, when it's just basically powdered sugar with some kind of artificial flavoring, yes.
Sweet tart and Spree was like going from Marvel to DC. It was just a drop off.
It might have been a drop off, but it was still sugar.
Did y'all like the bottle cap candy? Do y'all remember those?
Yeah, the root beer and the cherry cola were my jam. From those.
I used to like the Big League chewing gum too as a kid.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh
man. We're just going on a nostalgia kick. I love it.
What about the candied cigarettes?
Oh yeah. Are they even allowed to sell those anymore? Probably not. Do they sell them?
Actually, I think they do still sell them. Oddly enough.
Wow. Yeah. Those were great. Those now again pure sugar.
What's the Mary Jane candies?
Oh yeah, those were the there's like the butterscotch or like the heart, whatever flavor it was. But yeah, I remember those. They're kind of similar to what the fuck is the other brand? There was Mary Jane's, because actually I saw them recently at the they were in the
Trigger Daddy. That was caramel. That was on the stick.
Let me see if I can find it. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know that. Oh, Bit O' Honey. They're kind of like the Bit O' Honey.
Yeah.
That's what they were kind of like.
That the ones you'd get at like a Halloween that was just in the orange wrapper or the black wrapper?
It was like no, I don't think those were. The Bit O' Honeys are in like the yellow red ones. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember liking those. I think those are like the ones that I like.
Nobody liked those. That was the cheap house. It was like, I can get 50,000 of them for like $1.
Or the ones that
everybody.
Or the ones that had out apples because they're like, be healthy. It's fucking Halloween. I don't want to be healthy. I want to eat all the garbage I possibly can.
Speaking of Halloween, did you ever get to the one house when you were a kid? And they were like, well, you get you like one of the later houses, like, oh, they're trying to get a candy. Like, I'll take a handful or whatever. Yeah. And you would sit there, you make sure you try to get your hand as big as possible.
Yeah. Dude, I used to love the places that would hand out whole candy bars. They would only get so many, so you had to get there first because they would have 36, 48, whatever they bought, right? They didn't buy a lot of them. But that would be the best, having the whole candy bar. I was like, oh my god, it's like I bought it myself at the store.
Yeah.
But yeah, the end of the night was the best if they had stuff left over, no doubt.
Our neighbor growing up as a kid, he would hand out cans of Coke. Like he just have like cases stacked up on his porch and just hand out a Coke instead of like candy.
It's more sugar, son.
It'd be like people lined up just waiting for getting back in line.
Want all your teeth to fall out this evening? We got you.
Right.
The worst were like the apple lady and the penny lady.
Oh man, the apple, the pennies, like even if it was a quarter. Some of them would do quarters, and I'm like, I don't care what you're doing. It's not candy. Is this going to magically turn candy? Then no, get the frick out of here. Where am I supposed to go get candy now? It's dark out, and I want candy.
Or they're popcorn balls. You know, the big popcorn balls, like a softball size. Like, come on, man.
Terrible bunch of knuckleheads out here.
I'll be back with a few eggs.
Terrible. Terrible.
We have some good comments that kind of, Eric says, confirms all 3 Wellers are available in Ontario for him. Bum says he just opened a North Coast Old Stock 2016. First time I've ever seen a Best Buy stamped on the label for Old Stock, July 2032. So that is 16 years?
Wow.
Crazy.
Old Stock's a big one, I remember, from the ABV. So it'll last a while.
And they had, I had a couple years ago, I had an 09 that was just phenomenal. They actually went to a bottle show and they had a vertical. We had 09 through 15 and a bunch of the variants. And honestly, the barrel aged ones, just the base Old Stock, the older ones, yeah, age them, age them all. They age extremely well. I bet you if you put down a couple and drank them in 2032, Bum would be all about them. Red Beer says he just don't download my video, so thank you. Earth says Joe remembers Gush candy. I bet yes, the Gushers. You know the fucking little gummies with the fruity like paste inside. I guess it was like whatever. Yeah, I remember those Gushers were a good time. Drunken One says hell no, M&Ms, yum. And it says Bit-O Honey ? Yeah, Bit-O Honey was like these little hard candies that once you had them in your mouth, it becomes softer, but they tasted like honey. It was pretty good.
Joe, did you actually just say Gushers was a good time?
I did. In many ways. In many ways.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, just good clarification.
Fun Dip was another good one too.
What was?
Fun Dip.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah,
powder.
I thought usually I just threw out like the candy stick and just like down the powder.
I love the candy stick.
I agree. I like the candy stick, I think, more than the powder, but regardless, our parents hated us after eating that. I'll tell you that right now.
Or wait a minute, what about the big like straws that just had nothing but the powder, the flavored sugar in it?
Yeah. Fuck. What are they feeding us? What, like
Pixie
this?
Sticks? Is that what they're called? Pixie Sticks?
You know, it'd be a great treat for the kids. What if we just took sugar and like flavored it and just put it in these big sticks and then they just eat the sugar? Oh, great. Just fucking go time.
Yeah, that's right. Not only will your teeth rot out, but they're going to be jacked up for hours.
Yeah, and then they're like, I wonder why people are fat and stuff. I don't know. You tell me. What the fuck? Eric says he's more of a bottom shelf, high rye BIB guy or bib guy. I guess that means the
brew in a bag. What is that? I don't know.
bring your own bourbon. Clarification, Eric.
Yeah.
But he said bottom shelf. That's how he rolls. Bum says
I like Kessler's or something like that.
Bum says they still sell candy cigarettes now with humorous names and artwork like Doctor's Choice or Just Like Dad. Look them up. That's great. Yeah, if you think about a lot of the candies we had growing up and stuff, it's like here, you just candy cigarettes. They're terrible for you. Everyone smokes, but they're candy form. You can eat them.
I mean, when you look back, I mean, I'm older than you guys. Some a little bit older than Todd, a little older. Todd's a little older than Joe, I think. But
but we're all within like 5 to 7 years.
Yeah,
so it's not that crazy.
You look back at that time frame, not just the candies and stuff like that. I mean, I remember being a kid and watching. We watched Scooby Doo. Yeah. And then you're like, wait a second, these are freaking like marijuana heads. As you get older, you're like watching them roll around in the mystery bag. you're watching like Underdog, and it's like this dude's got a drug problem. He needs that powder to get his strength or whatever. You know, it's kind of like all these different things. Like,
yeah, it's like the old Bugs Bunny. They'd be smoking and drinking bourbon and looking at Playboy. Well, they called them the Playpen or something like that, magazines. Like, you ain't gonna see that shit now. They ain't happening.
No. Eric has clarified that bottled in bond. Come on, sons. I told you before, Eric, I don't know much about anything when it comes to bourbons and whiskeys and whatnot. Certainly not terminology, because bottled in bond is a label for an American-made distilled beverage that has been aged and bottled according to a set of legal regulations contained in the United States government's standards of identity. For distilled spirits. So like, I had no idea that honestly was a thing. I'll be the first to admit though, because I'm very ignorant to, I guess, just spirits in general, because I don't really drink them outside of like mixed drinks here and there. I don't drink bourbon or whiskey or anything. So drop the knowledge, Eric. I'm always here to learn. Good sir.
That's why I have fun when I go on a Swami show, because I learned about whiskey a little bit more. Even though I used to bartend. It's been years. We never really got that deep into some of the making of it. So
nice.
Always fun things to learn.
And then Eric, a Lions fan, comes back in the comments, says, "What's up, fellas? You tell us, Eric, because you were here. And now you're the cop. I don't know what's happening."
It's like Eric's outside looking through the window. What's up, guys?
Yo, let me back in. Yo, open the door. Open the door, please. I'll be quiet. And then Eric Gilbert says licorice cigars. I remember licorice cigars.
I don't remember licorice cigars.
I would have eat the shit out of some licorice cigars.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You guys like black licorice at all? That's the question. Black licorice.
No, not black licorice. Although now I'm used to it in my beer, like kind of that flavor note, but never liked it as a candy.
I could tolerate it, but give me the red licorice all day, every day.
Yeah. My dad used to love the black licorice. He'd take those all day long.
I could eat it in like small, like just a little bit of it. Like couldn't see it sit there like red licorice and just go nuts. Like it's kind of more of like a complex licorice, so to speak. There's way too much going on in the flavor.
Yeah, I became like a big Reese's fan when I was a kid though. So I love the peanut butter cups, and then when it came to Reese's Pieces, and I mean right now, like if I do a cheat day this week, we got a Dairy Queen down the street. I'm getting a freaking outrageous blizzard, whatever they did with the pieces and the peanut butter cups.
Yeah. Wait, they have that now? What now?
Yes.
Yeah, because that was my go-to. So my go-to would be at Dairy Queen would be either the cups themselves or the pieces. But yeah, it would depend on the mood.
They're together now.
Oh man, because when you get the cups and they break them up or whatever, and you get that nice hard chunk of a peanut butter cup in your fucking blizzard that wasn't like frozen, but it was hard. It was just the best fucking thing. It's the best thing ever. I'm so fat. Let's see. Bum says every single Warner Brothers cartoon is politically incorrect now. The latest pariah being Pepe Le Pew, the sexual predator.
Don't worry, you laugh at, if you're young.
Yeah,
it's like
that is true.
No, this yeah, I'm surprised. Are they even played anywhere like the older cartoons?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
They should be because they're.
Well, the funny thing about the Warner Brother cartoons, like Bugs Bunny and all that stuff, they used to start out like in the movie theater. In between, like they didn't have trailers on stuff. They started there, but it's kind of funny. They were kind of like made for an older type audience, but then later on, like they became like the kids cartoons. And like I never realized this, but like the Flintstones back in the day, I found that used to be a prime time show.
Oh yeah, that was
like the adults and stuff watch it. That's why it has like adult related stuff in it.
That was like the first primetime cartoon ever made, I think.
Jesus.
Knowledge, sons, you get knowledge.
I'm loving it. I'm soaking it all up. So tomorrow I can forget all about it because I'm shot. Eric Alliance fan says never cared for black licorice.
Yeah.
And then Redbeard says Score and Oreo be my blizzard of choice. Scorio. Score bars are fantastic. I don't know if everyone's aware of Score bars in the States.
I've heard the name of Score, but I haven't.
They're basically Heath bars, but like the Canadian equivalent.
Heath bars are pretty good.
And Heath bars, and they are great in blizzards, no doubt. I've never tried the combination.
I'm gonna put a peanut butter cup in with the pieces finally, which then you're like, why did it take so long for someone to come up with this idea?
Mind blown.
This should have been happening a long time ago.
Snickers blizzards are good too. Fucking Snickers blizzards are fantastic. God, man, I love blizzards. You ever see how many calories are in like a blizzard? You'd be like, oh, I get a medium blizzard, whatever. It's like fucking 1,000 calories. I'm like, what? Shit's like this big. How's that 1,000 calories? Oh, there's 2 candy bars in there. Fucking half pint of ice cream.
Bad at Dairy Queen. It's a lot worse when you go to Sonic.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's I wasn't large, but it's like 2,500. I think I'll cut back.
A couple years ago when they first came here,
there they got the small, the medium, the large, and like the giant or something. You know,
and they have the half price fucking after 8 p.m. in the summer. When they first came here a couple of years ago, I remember going like 3 or 4 times in the summer. And I would get like the big one or whatever, and I could eat like a third of it. I had like 3 different times over the next 2 days because, it had to be like 2,500 calories because it was just crazy. And I'm like, oh, I got all this for $4. Like, you serious right now?
I bet Paul could put a killing on that Sonic. I bet he would just enjoy their menu.
We don't have them around here anymore.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, the ones around locally all closed up for some reason.
We got one that's about 10 minutes from my house that's go there once in a while, but it's like you look at this, like so many freaking calories.
Yeah.
If you're going to Sonic Garage, you're not worried about your calories.
You can still order anyway.
Bum says that theatrical cartoons were made for adult audiences, therefore lots of sex and alcohol.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And then Earth says licorice with a smiley face, and this says liquor dash rice.
Yeah.
Liquor rice. Bum says there's also now a Nutrageous bar with Reese's Pieces in place of the peanuts called Outrageous. Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah. And there's also the peanut butter cup with the Reese's Pieces inside that.
Those are
the commercial for.
Dude, they're so good.
The peanut butter cup with the Reese's Pieces inside.
They're good. I got a giant one last year when they came out. Like, there's a giant cup with it. I was so happy, but at the end of it, I was like, this is a mistake.
But if you ever want to know about Oreo, make sure you check out with Joe D, because Joe D knows every Oreo coming out.
Yeah, it's all the watermelon, all kinds of weird ones. The thing is I've tried about a half dozen of the new ones, say, over the last couple of years, and like I just want the fucking regular Oreos. Like all these, whatever. Just give me the regular Oreos, like the ones you dip in fucking milk. And
I like the birthday cake. The birthday cake one I kind of like.
I tried the cherry cola one like a couple months ago. I was like, come on. They had the Pop Rocks in there to mimic the carbonation. I'm like, I don't be eating an Oreo and having fucking shit explode in my mouth. What is happening?
I did have a deep fried Oreo for the first time tonight, so there's that.
Those are phenomenal, aren't they?
Yeah, when we had that festival, that shot. I don't know if I shot over the video of that when I was at Newport last year, but that beer bourbon festival, they had the it was freaking good too.
Dude, wrapped in bacon too, or something.
Now that would be crazy. That would be a bit too much, I think.
Nothing wrong with that.
Deep fried Snickers and deep fried Reese's, and it was just as good as you would think it was, except for like you knew you're eating fucking death.
Deep fried Twinkies too.
Yeah. Well, I've had those before too, or once before. They actually have them now. And I've seen them in like the grocery store. They have them deep fried where you can just put them in the oven. I'm like, they can't be that good. So I didn't try them, but I'd imagine they're not that good. But maybe they are. Who knows? Eric says, Eric Gilbert, that is, because I have to clarify because Eric's back, but in the comments, Eric Gilbert says bottled in bond, matured for no less than 4 years, and charred new white oak barrels with a mash of grains harvested from the same season and bottled at 100 proof.
Oh.
And then he says, "Oh, go ahead. Sorry."
No, it's just fun to learn about different stuff like that.
All right, for sure. Eric says, he loves black licorice." Then Redbeard says, "The vanilla Oreos are so good," in all caps. Eric, a Lions fan, I have to specify. God damn it! He says, "Klondike Oreo ice cream sandwich." I've had those before too. Those are tasty.
Those are pretty freaking good.
Fucking tasty.
I agree with Redbeard. I do like those golden.
The golden Oreos are fine.
Yeah,
those things are pretty good.
But though they've been around for a long time, I'm just talking about like the newer, crazier releases. I'm not saying they're bad, but like
different flavor.
I think of the ones I've had of the new ones, half have been really good, and the other half I'm just like, I wish these were regular Oreos.
Right? Yeah. I agree with that.
Bum says, "I didn't know until you guys said it tonight that the mystery Oreos were Fruity Pebbles flavored. I did pack and just assumed they were lemon." See, dude, the first time I bit into one of them, I was like, where do I know this flavor from? Like, this is weird. And I was thinking about it, I was like, it can't be Fruity Pebbles, can it? And I'm just thinking, and I'm like, it's what it tastes like, because I like Fruity Pebbles as a cereal growing up.
That was a great cereal too.
Yeah. I love Fruity Pebbles, and I was like, this tastes like Fruity Pebbles. And then I forgot about them, and then when they announced the winner, they announced Fruity Pebbles. I'm like, I should have answered. I didn't think it was because I don't ever get anything right, but yeah.
Were you more Fruity Pebbles or Lucky Lucky Charms.
Oh, Fruity Pebbles all day, every day.
I don't know. I kind of like the Lucky Charms.
Yeah, just give me the marshmallows out of Lucky Charms. Fuck the rest.
The only problem with Fruity Pebbles is they get too soggy too fast.
That's why you just eat them quickly. That's all.
True. Speaking of Fruity Pebbles,
go nuts.
450 North has got the Fruity Nuggets coming out next week.
Oh, yeah, you better get on that for us.
Yeah, let's see what I can do.
I'm just joking.
Not really.
Cinnamon Toast. I used to love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was one of my jams growing up. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
As a kid, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah.
Maybe towards like a teenager, but as a kid, it was kind of like
everything is confectionery sugar, just like sweet.
Yeah, your sugar smacks. Yeah, your sugar smacks. Yeah, your Lucky Charms, your Fruity Pebbles, Rice Krispies. I love Rice Krispies. Frosted Flakes. Who didn't like Tony? Everybody loves Tiger.
Well, yeah, Frosted Flakes are fucking fat. Still to this day,
I do like Frosted Flakes.
Of course, you can't forget the Captain Crunch and the Crunch Berry.
No, fuck that, man. The top of your roof of your mouth is just destroyed by the end. It's like you start off all happy about it because, like, oh man, these are crunchy.
It's so good.
Yeah, and then for like the next day, you're like, you can't feel the roof of your mouth. Like, what did I eat? Oh, I ate fucking Captain Crunch.
Exactly. Like in our cafeteria, they'd have like Crunch Berry cereal. The main course, like people would eat Crunch Berries.
Now they just have a cereal called just Crunch Berries, so it's just the Crunch Berries as the cereal. I'm like, that's not going to work. Kind of like Lucky Charms. If you just ate the marshmallows out of Lucky Charms, probably wouldn't be a great time. You got to have the balance there. So I'm like, I don't want to fuck with that. Well, we got a lot of comments because we're talking about cereal. Eric says, "Duh bomb!" All in all caps. I think he's talking about Klondike Oreo. Ashley Sexton rolls in, and I believe a little bit of a dig at Redbeard. He says, "Ginger Oreos are the worst."
Flavor or ginger?
I think he meant Redbeard. Redbeard says the Oreo ice cream sandwich. He called it ice cram. So that's interesting. Says the Oreo ice cream sandwich is insane.
Well, we got the Snickers ice cream bar too here. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, they have Twix ones too. That are fantastic.
Those things are awesome.
God, talking about food, this sucks. Eric Alliance fan. Goddamn. He says, "Red, I can pound down a whole box." He's talking about the vanilla Oreos.
Yeah.
So he's all about the. Eric Gilbert says, "I'm Eric the Packers fan." Eric Gilbert says, "At least you went with the better team, Eric." In this situation, Redbeard says, "I could as well, LOL, so very easily," talking about the vanilla Oreos. And then Redbeard says, "Ginger Oreos are way tastier than Sexton flavored ones." Ashley, it wasn't a good comeback. Red, ginger Oreos are terrible. Eric Gilbert says, "There is a store in town that sells all this candy, American and UK candy." That's a store I need to get familiar with then. Malt Mustang comes back and says, "Frankenberry, bitches." Yeah, Frankenberry is pretty good.
Yeah, Count Chocolate, all of them. Yeah,
really good.
Love for General Mills.
Yeah, and they're General Mills, Buffalo, New York. Our town smells like Cheerios. It's fantastic, boys. Redbeard says, "Ice cram." Yeah, you fucked up. Bum says Trump is putting a tariff on Crunch Berries. And then Erica, a Lions fan, says, "And Oreos." Man, that's terrible. That'd be hilarious if that actually happened. It would be, and I blame Bum mostly. But no, I mean it's funny. How often do you guys ever eat cereal anymore? I like once in a great while. Like if I'm in the mood for it, I'll buy a box and just be like.
I actually bought a box of cereal a couple weeks ago, but I haven't eaten yet. But it's the peanut butter Cheerios. So I love.
I tried those before.
Oh, they got those.
Yeah.
They're all right.
I like just a regular Honey Nut Cheerio.
Yep, I agree. High five, Todd.
That was solid.
You ever try the Reese's cereal? The Reese's Puffs? Those are good.
Yeah.
I've seen those. I haven't tried those before. I mean, I'll still occasionally. I want to pick up a Lucky Charms, just to.
That's the thing. You go down the fucking cereal aisle, and you're like, I'm an adult. Oh man, I should eat the Honey Bunches of Oats, or I should have fucking grape nuts, or when it's like, no, where's the Lucky Charms and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch and all this great shit?
Come on.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna eat cereal,
trying to find little variety packs where it's like a little small box that you get 8 in a pack or whatever.
Those are the best things, though, right there.
I look through it, and it's like someone always like gives me something I don't want in it.
Yeah,
like Raisin Bran. Like, why do you put Raisin Bran in here with corn pop?
Golden Pops or
There's
something.
always one that's somebody, that you won't like. Like I never was a fan of like Apple Jacks. I didn't really care for Apple Jacks. And I always see an Apple Jacks, and I'm like, fuck that, man.
There's like the Sam Adams pack. Do you have to put the Sam Adams lager and everything?
Yeah. It's like no one's ever drank the fucking lager, so give us 3 of them.
It's the only way they're going to sell them, so why not put them in there?
We have Eric Gilbert says known as Sugar King. I think he's talking about the store, or is he talking about something else? I think that's what. Ashley Sexton says cereal every fucking day. I got kids. Well, that's an exception. If you have kids and they eat cereal too, there's nothing wrong with stealing a little bit for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Bum says the rare times I buy a box of cereal, I just end up eating it as a snack. Could see that.
Yeah, there's times I've eaten out of the box just as a snack or whatever. I haven't really put any milk or anything.
Yeah. Redbeard says
Apple Jacks were good for doing that.
That's what I was going to say. I never had Apple Jacks. We had a box, and I was like, I'm going to eat a handful. I was like, well, these fuckers are good.
Yeah, maybe I haven't had them since a kid, man. I just fuck those things.
I'll tell you what, a good cereal though is that chocolate Crave. Have you had the Crave?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Now that's a little bit rich and decadent for us adults. I think we're called. I'm not really sure. I think that's what we're supposed to be. Redbeard says cornflakes, Cheerios, or Special K red berries every day, baby. Every single time with the red. Settle down, Redbeard. Earth says, what cereal do you hate is the question. Grape nuts? Never like grape nuts. Never will like grape nuts. Don't want to eat grape nuts. Don't want to look at grape nuts. Don't want to ever see them in
I don't like raisins. Raisin bran.
Raisin bran? Yeah, raisin bran.
I love raisin bran, but I like raisins, so I can see how if you don't like raisins, clearly. Because it's basically just Wheaties with fucking raisins. That's what raisin bran is, more or less.
I like raisins, but I want them in my cereal.
I like the raisin bran crunch where they have the little clusters of like that's enhanced.
Now you're getting highfalutin on us.
Yeah, you gotta get those on sale for like 2 for $5. Not paying regular. I gotta get a Rajay deal on those.
But the whole funny thing with Raisin Bran, because when I went to school for advertising, we talked about their campaign. How they came up with the whole 2 scoops thing, and apparently the guy who came up with that slogan got so frustrated trying to figure out what to do, he dumped all the cereal on the table. I noticed there were a lot of raisins, and it filled up 2 scoops.
That's
really
something else.
It's just like it's just. Shit happened by accident. It's like Nike stepping on a waffle. Look at the waffle pattern on the bottom of their running shoe.
I just want to let Ashley Sexton know right now that you have a message that is being held for review. And as the moderator here, someone needs to...
You're a moderator, Joe, right? So
I was going to hit it, but I was just going to play it off like I wasn't going to, but then someone else did, so fuck it. Bum says...
Sometimes it was pretty funny when he said some of the comments and they block them.
Yeah, they are. Bum says, I'm still waiting for them to revive Freaky cereal from the 70s. Anyone remember it? I don't remember Freaky cereal at all.
Freaky?
Freakies?
Yeah, Freakies, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one now.
Redbeard says, all brand, LOL. All brand? He's all brand.
He doesn't like Robbie's all brand.
Probably. Ashley Sexton says,
yeah.
My daughter looked at the Lucky Charm box and was like, look, Dad, it's your friend from YouTube. I got Redbeard's already getting shit on. I can't do it. Bum says Apple Jacks are one of the few sweet cereals I hated as a kid. Yeah, high five, Bum. Fuck Apple Jacks, right, buddy? Eric Gilbert says the store.
You gotta give Ashley a moment on that one.
I don't know. Yeah, I just got my red beard to feel so bad. Eric Gilbert says the store. That's the name of it. That was what I said earlier. I gotta scroll up, so fuck's sakes. It was Sugar King was the name of the store. Redbeard says Pro Stars, the Wayne Gretzky cereal was delicious back in the day. Is that Canada only? I guess. I
never heard that one.
Yeah. Eric Alliance fan just said, I just ate Quaker instant oatmeal. You just clearly didn't want to come back to do that. So.
I was going to say, he still has the link, right? What's he doing?
And then Ashley, this is the one that was held for review. He says, I have a love-hate relationship with Captain Crunch. Fuck those tasty razor blades. Yep. I mean, that's what we talked about. Like, it was almost like the first time you ever ate Captain Crunch, you had no idea what happened within the next 24 hours. You're like, what did I eat? Why is the roof of my mouth fucking bleeding? What exactly happened? And then everyone was like, well, clearly it's Captain Crunch because you got little ridges in there, just fucking it up. Terrible. Eric Gilbert says Cinnamon Toast Crunch, baby. So high five to Eric Gilbert because that's what I'm all about. When they came out with the French toast one, that one was good too, with the little like French, like the little pieces of bread that had the maple syrup on them. God damn, that shit was proper. Redbeard says LOL, and then God damn you to Ashley. I mean, hey, that was
That was good.
That
was good.
The best of the night. Like he's
That was well played. Yeah.
Earth says, listen, we were raised to love alcohol. Look at all the grains we loved growing up. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Oh, look who's back.
Hey, Todd, thanks for the guilt trip, buddy.
Well, now you're all pumped up on a Quaker instant oatmeal.
Been bouncing off the walls.
Bum says, do they still make King of Vitamin? I remember the big controversy as a kid when they said it was over 50% sugar.
I never heard of King Vitamin.
Nah, me either. Now we had two guys come in. Selling says, we want to see you chug a beer through your nose. And then Gemstar says, what he said. Todd, you want to be the guinea pig here, buddy?
No.
Oh, no. And then Ashley says, all love, Red. Doesn't seem like it, Ashley. And the Jarvis comment. I mean,
he's got a couple good zingers on Red tonight. So
was he is proper.
Yeah.
Pretty much all I got for comments though, and it is
perfect timing. So
wait, one last comment. Bum says Captain Crunch is another suspect adult. Remember the commercials where he had a bunch of parentless kids living on his ship?
Him and Mike.
I don't remember looking too closely at that, Bum, but now that you mention it.
True.
Yeah. Well, sugar smacks. I mean, smack. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've been on for a bit tonight, so
yeah, 13 people still watching, unfortunately, but you know.
Definitely appreciate everybody showing up, and Eric actually came back for the second time. Perfect for a time.
Just for a PSA.
Just for the PSA.
Perfect time.
This PSA is brought to you by NASA.
Brought to you by General Mills.
Post, all right, post. Guys, if you had too much to drink, please get a designated driver. In this day and age, it's stupid to drive home drunk. And if you think you're going to be a hero and do it, you're going to get pulled over by the cops, do the stupid sobriety test, get a free ride to jail, court fees, and then possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you're going to be in the slammer for a while. And if you kill yourself, all I've done is hurt your family and friends and put yourself 6 feet under, right? Just sleep off your buzz and get your car the next day. Have a buddy come get you. Uber, taxi, Lyft. Just something to get you back home to safely to your parents. Jesus, to your loved one.
Close enough.
Parents, Jesus, or family, whoever.
Yeah. Whichever.
But if you want to see Jesus, you probably messed up somewhere.
Unless you're going to the New Age churches where you can actually drink there. So,
yeah.
Yeah, you're probably not listening to the PSA if you're ending up with Jesus. Let's just say that.
It's not the time to let Jesus take the wheel, I'll tell you that.
No.
But thanks for everybody that actually checked out everything. Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's funny, like every time we go to sign off, we end up going up in viewership. So every Thursday, we usually do this around 9. Make sure you check out these guys' channel, Eric Alliance Fan, all one word. Make sure you check out his channel where he does like different beer reviews, does things around Detroit sports, some different things happening around Michigan. Check out the Beer Patrol, the Beer Patrol with 2 L's. And that's Joe's channel. And then I'll put their links in the description as well. Or if you guys want to type something, people can check out your stuff as well. And then Todd doesn't have a channel, but Todd's always here with us.
The Rod J BeerVentures channel.
Yeah, so usually at 9 we get this going on Thursday nights or 9:15, somewhere around there. And then also check out some of the people in the chat if you haven't checked them out. We talked about Redbeard earlier. Redbeard does actually beer reviews and does a lot of gaming now. Gaming has been a great thing on his channel, so check him out. And then who else has a channel? Whiskey Throttle. Check him out. He does a lot of good whiskey stuff up there where he's at. And also
PA Brew News, Paul.
PA Brew News. So Paul, check him out. He's out of PA and he does a lot of good beer reviews. And actually he walks through the I don't want to say mountains, but his hill range or wherever he's at, because he's working out a little bit now. So he'll give you a little bit of that PA culture that you can actually see. In fact, one time he actually got passed up by an Amish person. So that was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. Drunken one.
Working, walking. And then anybody else I missed there that has
Drunken one.
Check him out. Drunken one is, I don't know what really Drunken one does on this channel sometimes.
Almost everything and gardening and stuff.
He's a broad range.
He does a lot of good things. He always has a good time out there.
Ryan, Beer by the Numbers as well, showed up earlier.
Yeah, Ryan, Beer by the Numbers. A lot of good beer education off of his channel. And all these guys are in the chat. You hit the little 3 buttons to the right of their name. You can check out right to their channel to see all different things they're doing. Anything you guys want to mention that you have upcoming on your channels?
Terrible content, but you already know.
Some things are a given for sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Nothing really for me, just the sports stuff and the beer stuff. I know it's kind of bland, but it is what it is.
What do you have coming up, Rob? What do you have coming up?
What do I have coming up? Well, I got enough reviews I got to get uploaded and stuff, so I'll get those done. And then I'll do the I may mention it last week, but I was actually contacted by another company that actually wanted me to check out one of their products. So I'm going to actually be probably doing an unboxing tomorrow of the beer cooler that they shot over to me to take a look at, so you guys can see that on the channel. And then I'll do a video about that, see how it works after a few days, and give you some highlights about that as well. And then anybody that's a subscriber, if you want to get a beer cooler, because for me, our bottom fridge is now all beer most parts, so I can put beer somewhere else. You'll actually get a discount that the company's offering by going through the website and everything. So,
Nice.
And then outside of that, mostly beer reviews. I'm still debating on starting the cheap beer series. I haven't got anything yet. I mean, Miller Lite, Coors Light, Labatt's.
Sounded like you were thinking about it today, and then you were like, not good.
Yeah, well, I thought about it last night. I was like, yeah, I wasn't ready for it yet. I mean, well, whatever I drank tonight, I wasn't going to do a review on. So I'm like, why get beer ahead of time? Because that's not going to hold. So I just picked it up. $1.50 a can. Maybe a little. I already did a Natty Daddy review back in the day. Maybe a little. I did Natty Ice. I don't know. We'll see. Cheap beer. I don't know why we want to do it, but some people like to see it. Some people on a budget. Buy on a budget. Maybe I'll call it Beer on a Budget. That's the name of the series.
Beer on a budget.
Beer on a budget.
I like it.
But so all that. But I've got like 24 reviews. Oh, a cool thing is for anybody that's connected with me on Untapped, which I was talking to you guys about before. I didn't know you could actually set up your beer cellar on there. So it's kind of cool. So all the beers that I have in the cellar listed on there, I guess it's all public view. So if you guys see the beers on there you're curious about, let me know, and I'll move those ahead to get reviews done on them as well. So I think right now I've got 56 on the list, and I've probably got another 100 to add. So
I'm going to set mine up on there too.
Yeah. All mine were on the wish list, but I set up in the fridge and in the cellar. And I have 324 in the cellar and 32 in the fridge. So we'll see what happens.
It's a good amount of beers.
Too many. Yeah, hoarder.
It's like a bottle share. Invite people over. Like, don't bring anything. Trust me, I got it.
I am going to a bottle share on Saturday, and I might live stream from the bottle share, but I'm unsure of if I will or not. I don't know how hectic it's going to be. Yeah, we're drinking a lot of beer. There's supposed to be a lot of beer, so we'll see. I don't know.
Just remember,
just get Uber, buddy.
Oh,
Uber, Lyft, or call a friend.
I just planned on walking home. The fucking 25 miles or whatever. We'll see.
Remember the words of Eric in his PSA. But that all being said, thanks again for everybody that watched, and hopefully you got a laugh a little bit. Maybe you picked up a little thing about beer or so, and we'll see you next week. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers.
Yay.